Whenever you're ready to say okay, Cable, we'll.
Okay,
start with
Cable.
that.
Okay, Cable.
As you know, you're familiar with the Hunters Hill site. We were just before you, just a few months ago, for the clubhouse and the driveway. And what Mr. Almeida is proposing, we stopped by the selectman's office a couple of weeks ago to sort of discuss with them this project. And we just wanted to get your input at this point. It's very informal, just a little, here we are, this is what we're thinking of doing. As Mr. Almeida explained, in the front portion off of William Street, there's a piece of property directly behind Mr. Souza's. And if you're looking at your, turn it so that you're all facing the same. So, Mr. Souza's property is here. This is William Street that's shown on your site plan. And the driveway for the clubhouse is this here, okay? This little square that's on your plan that shows better probably in the color is the
Right here in the corner.
proposed clubhouse, yep.
Sorry about that.
Then leaving, you can see this is the outline for the conservation subdivision that was approved. It goes out to Anderson Drive. So I'll give you a little idea of where we are. What Mr. Almeida is proposing is off of the driveway coming into the clubhouse is what we call is like a continuous care retirement facility. It's an assisted living with different levels of amenities that are available to the
How
owners.
many beds?
We're looking at 250 rooms. Some will be single rooms, others will be double, so depending on what your needs are. And typically now for a continual care facility, a certain percentage is allocated towards memory care. And then there are different, as I spoke, there's different levels. There's the totally independent living where, you know, you're just 55, you just don't wanna deal with your house anymore. You come in, you have your own little place, you have place to park your car, you can come and go, you make your own meals, and that's your level. The next
How many
step up,
units in the independent living?
that width is, so out of the 250, that's typically the largest of them. You'll have your memory care somewhere around the 50, maybe a little less, depending what the market is in this area. And then the remaining 200 is split between the independent living and the assisted. So it may be, we need 150 and just 50 of the other. Or it may be, you know, it will depend. So the independent, like I said, you can come and go as you want. The assisted living, you're a little bit more confined, but you can have meals and other things on site. So the amenities on the property, you know, you have your restaurants and there's services of taxi service to, around the local areas, but that's typical of what they offer. We would need to, of course, we know we need to come back before you with a site plan and traffic and drainage and all of that, but we're just, at the meeting with the selectmen, we know that, Tom Ferry was there from DPW and we had, the water department was there, so they're aware of what's coming and, you know, we able to listen to what they had to say. And we were just looking to see if you had any opinions or if things are, you know, anything you'd like to see.
Is it zoned for assisted living?
It would, special permit.
Special permit, okay,
Yeah.
are they market rate or what's the funding for how the people are, is it affordable housing or is it?
A portion of them will be affordable, yes.
And they're considered SROs?
Yes, I believe that is true.
I don't know if they would be. They would have to be sold,
Yes,
and that person gets a deed to that unit,
yes,
and they can resell it?
yes,
But there may be
Uh,
a deed restriction if they're
Yeah,
affordable.
there'll be a deed restriction.
yes, just like a typical subdivision.
So they wouldn't be rentals, they'd be ownership.
Yes,
All 200 units would be sold,
that's what we're looking at right now.
and the 50 units would be assisted living of some type, memory care, you called it?
Memory care, yeah.
So that would be like a dementia unit, more or less, right?
Yeah.
So just 50 beds for that?
Yeah, that's typically, it varies from different, from up in Cambridge area to the Barrington to Cape Cod. You have different,
Levels of care.
levels of care, and you have a different, the area that you're servicing as to who's here. Unfortunately, on the Cape Cod, the memory units tend to be much higher. You will have closer to 100 of them versus the other, but up in the Cambridge area, we have beds of only, 10 to 30. So.
Will there be
it's,
nurses and a doctor there, or?
Typically for memory care, that you have staff on site, you have to have, because that's 24 hours for that type.
Are these considered affordable because of any state funding?
They're considered, what we would, not for state funding, but because, they would be willing to put up so many for affordable housing.
So it's almost like a friendly 40B?
Kind of, yeah.
I question that.
Well, it's not in that, a 40B is a special permit.
Mhm.
A friendly 40B is working with the town to achieve a common goal, as opposed to fighting a developer to try to negotiate the least impact with the town, so.
Right, I mean, we're looking to comply with all the rules of the
Yeah,
regulations.
sure.
But in the interim, we're also looking to help out with the, affordable housing in the town. I mean, this could greatly, put a dent in your numbers,
Mhm.
so.
Multi-story?
If you could sell all these units, which I think you'd have a tough time doing, myself, my personal opinion. Being so far off the grid, so far off, the highway route, most assisted livings or anything like that are always close to a major highway. There is no major highways out there, and you're saying that you're gonna offer taxi rides to where? That's out in the middle of the woods.
By the time it's built, there'll be self-driving cars.
We'll have our own
To
roads.
me, this is just my personal opinion.
Hey, Peter.
In your private.
Yeah, my personal opinion.
If it doesn't sell, we
I
can
don't see
always
this selling,
rent it,
or rent it,
or rent it, yeah.
out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I know you say the middle of nowhere,
I'm going there soon.
It's a
You go
need
from here to there,
that,
right?
um,
Here to there.
in the area,
I wanna
for
build my own
Somerset,
house there.
Swansea, Dayton, Rehoboth, you don't have this type of facility. And there's a huge need right now out there for them.
Well, in terms of affordable housing, if it were, let's use the 40B guidelines, if it were 20% affordable rental apartments,
Mhm.
all 100% count towards the town's, affordable housing goal. If they're ownership, then we can only count those 20%, so for the town's purposes, it would be much more preferable to be rentals.
Well,
Really?
rent it.
Not
That's the
that,
way to go.
not that, I'm telling you how to do it, but that's how the town gets the most bang for the buck in terms of making a real impact on the affordable housing 10% goal that the state requires us to have before we can, control our own destiny as it relates to 40Bs.
You say it won't require any town services?
Water.
Well, we do, we've got water, which is great, we got electric,
I mean,
working on the gas.
you're gonna have your own
Well, sewer.
ambulance, you said.
Sewer, we're gonna be working on that, you need a sewer treatment plant, so
That's another issue that I have with a facility like that with a lot of elderly people.
right.
Today's society, sure, they're not just using toilet paper. And there's a lot of problems in these type of facilities with, drainage and cloggage and, a big mess. My wife works in these kind of facilities, so I know a little bit about this stuff. And she's telling me it happens frequently. And what else happens frequently and on a daily basis, calls to our fire and police every single day. Now you're talking 250 people. Our phones are gonna be ringing for fire and police. Elderly people just think of calling 911 for any little thing. They're not calling your ambulance service, which I don't think that, you're gonna be able to provide 24-hour service. Very expensive. I mean, these other facilities, they don't provide 24-hour ambulance service. So, I'm not trying to be a pain here, but, since you guys started talking about this 2 months ago, I've been doing a little research on my own. And there are a lot of drawbacks.
Sure it is.
And sewerage is a big one.
Oh, sure.
Big. You get backups, everything floods, you got big problems. And it happens all the time, check into it yourself.
I've been reading a little bit on it, don't know a lot
Right.
about it, but I'm gonna get professionals
Yeah,
on it,
right.
once we have some.
Bigger pipes or whatever you may need, because everybody's using baby wipes today, and, they don't go down good.
And the staff don't care.
Right.
They flush
I'm
them
sure
down.
they don't.
So you need
Yeah.
to have a real good macerator pump to take care of it, or a real good filtration system, or a real good
Good filter's good.
maintenance plan to, remove them on a regular basis. I wouldn't want that job.
Oh, no. It's not for us.
Nor I.
Plumbers have nice boats.
I'm sure we're gonna work with it, I've got a lot of people that, I've got a call, I've got a list of them and professional people that is, so we can, do something about it, if it's a go with the town, I've gotta start looking at it. I'm already talking to, with the gas company and so on, and they're interested. That should have been done years ago, but it wasn't.
How far away is gas?
It's about 3.5 miles away.
Really? And you'd be willing to foot the bill to
They
run
say they
gas?
would, so.
I get gas stops about 100 yards up the street from me, and they say they won't.
Well,
Well, they're gonna sell them a lot of gas.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
All right.
It's gotta be worth it.
Right.
So maybe they can tap in all the houses on the way out.
Well, that's the thing, they'll offer it to everybody.
Maybe your house will be picked up.
I'm a little further away than that.
So that's kind of where we are. As you can see, we're very preliminary as far as the planning stages. Couple of operators we've spoken to, some they wanna sell off the units, others are rentals, so if if it's better for the town.
I believe it is,
to
you
go
might
there.
wanna do some
We'll
research
do some
yourselves
research.
to
That
make
is the-
sure that I'm not talking through my hat.
Yeah, no, that's
I would
that's a
really
good
like to
point,
know
so-
too, what units would be affordable and how many, and if they are really affordable units.
That's what they
Well, if
said.
they're rentals, they'll all be affordable.
Well,
So
even though
it
they
would
be
help out the
considered
town
that way.
in that situation, we'll let it be rental costs.
Yeah,
You help us out, we help you out,
everybody's looking to take care of the town,
that's it.
yeah.
Take care of me first.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they call it a friendly 40B,
Mhm.
for the most part. I never heard that twist on it, but, as far as assisted living being affordables, but if we can classify that it was a project that I was always in favor of anyway, even when it was proposed before. Had a lot of dreams before, a lot of things didn't happen. Nobody knows better than some of the older members on this board, about the past with this area up there but I thought this is a great concept to, at least for the town, for the tax benefit to the town. And if we can get affordables out of it, that's even better. I think as Mr. Wood stated, though, you do have a lot of homework to do.
We'll be looking to it.
If you're looking for a yay or a nay, if you can cover all the bases and everybody's happy and we have some public hearings and it seems like it's, I would be in favor of a project such as this.
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning, but I'm just curious, what happens to this is all one property, assumed within the black outline here?
Yes,
And what happens to the rest of the property under this project? Is it gonna be separated for further development,
I don't think so.
or just kinda?
it's somewhat chopped
Open
up,
space.
chopped up
Yeah,
by
open
wetland areas.
Okay.
So if you need to get to usable areas,
Oh, I see the
The wetlands are on there. Yeah,
the
it's-
dark lines here,
yeah.
so there's a lot of, okay.
so,
Probably 150 acres, wetlands.
I mean, if there's something way
Golf-
in the
golf
back
course
that we could
coming
chop
in.
off that goes towards somebody else's property on Elm Street, but I don't really see it at this point,
Everything else remains the way it was.
yes.
Yeah, no more further development,
No,
so everything else would be remain in open space and conservation or something like
That's
that, right?
unless you want me to build something new, so. No, no.
Starbucks.
There you go. I'd like to bring that in.
Well, you know what, Starbucks up
Yeah,
there might work.
it would do wonders up there.
Get some franchises in there, would do great, yes, something like that.
You know, another concern that I have too is, traffic on that street. You know, it's a straight road, and we're talking elderly people, and, you know, a lot of people travel
You know,
fast on that
keep some of
road.
the fence.
You know, I travel that road a lot.
Right, it's quick.
And now I can just vision 250, you know, old people
Thank you.
slowing me down.
They're not gonna be on the road, I hope.
You know,
I mean, we're
that's
looking
a,
at.
that's a lot of people.
55 and older and.
It is, but
You know, when Stonegate went in across the way, you know, they came in, they had quite a proposal, they were squared away. And they sold it to us, and it made it sound good. That all these snowbirds were gonna come and buy all these homes, and it was gonna be great, and they were gonna sell them all. They didn't sell too many. It's been a big headache, huge. It's still a mess over there, but they really sold it to us, I mean, I was here when they were selling it, sounded great. And it turned out to be a mess.
what are they,
It's a development right across the street.
oh, that one, okay.
Yeah, you know, and they did all kinds of studies. Did you think too? Yeah. I'm just saying, yeah.
I think
Well,
by
that's a
having
lot of
rental
units.
units, you might find that,
Just up the road here.
that people would rather
Are these
rent
gonna be
than buy,
rental
especially
units to just
elderly, 'cause I
elderly
think
only?
It's 55 and older.
Yeah, you go around the turn.
Guaranteed,
around the
right?
chop
Yes.
block.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody's grandkids are gonna be coming to our school,
We
they,
hope not.
it happens.
The chop block road is-
You know, 55, not, you know, that's not too old anymore.
But they won't have any,
4 or 5
anymore,
miles up the road.
hopefully.
There's one, and they're sold
Well,
out.
there's my house right there.
Pretty close to
I won't say no more.
Okay, is that a yes?
I guess the thing about having kids is, it would take a special sort of somebody to wanna raise kids in a facility like this. And that
Yeah,
would be
it's-
someone
it's-
without any
Yeah, it's-
common sense.
Typically, they don't.
No,
They
you know,
don't.
if you have 50.
There have been, I can be completely honest, I know of one situation up in Barrington where it was extenuating circumstances that the parents were killed in a car accident and the grandparents were the only
Had no
survivors.
choice.
They had no choice.
Sure.
They wrote a special deed, everybody else in the facility voted on it, said it was okay. So it took a lot of paperwork, but, you know, that was.
So are the 50, memory loss units separate from the rest?
It's typically a wing, typically,
wing, so like
up
this
on the
wing
third,
here.
like up on the third floor. It's
Okay.
typically on the third floor, alarms, you know,
Yeah.
double doors.
So are they, other than the assisted living part, are the independent living units, apartment-like?
Yes,
So they're more like a flat that could be a condo
Mhm.
or could be just a rental unit, but they're all one bedroom?
no, there's some that are two. The assisted living and the independent living are very similar as far
Mhm.
as the layouts. You'll have, what's considered a studio, a one bedroom and a two bedroom. So they have different, you know, whatever's available.
I think we have the right subdivision, we got 140 houses, as you know, it's gonna be built. And from there, they get a little older, the
And move
postman wanna
across
they
the
wanna-
way.
yeah. They wanna get a
Cemetery's on
cemetery
that
up.
property
There you
too,
go.
right? Just go from one area to another.
One-stop
That's
shopping.
Right there.
What's the rationale for the second bedroom?
Sometimes you have a couple that retire at 55, 60 and say, we want an apartment or a separate place and then we want somewhere else down south. And we don't have to worry about when we go down south, you know, it's all taken care of as far as the maintenance.
No, the second bedroom.
Why haven't, then
Why have it?
use it as a den.
Cause the wife snores a lot, you
Yeah.
get your
Or
own
they want their own
room.
bedroom, or
Yeah.
they use it as a study or an office,
Yeah.
office area,
Mhm.
yeah.
Usually you just block their nose when they snore too much. Put their hands over
So
their
there'll be
mouth.
no outbuildings from this, because last time you were here, when you were upstairs, you were talking about this, and some other, like, single unit.
No,
a single unit?
Yeah,
no.
did you talk about that, no?
We talked about something else. It was actually, a bed and breakfast. Is that how you talking
Yeah,
about?
and you talked about a convenience store too, no?
Well, everything's gonna be
Oh,
inside
it's
this house.
inside, it's all
It's
contained.
all gonna be inside?
Yeah,
Oh,
as
yeah.
you can
We're
in the
gonna have
main-
everything inside there.
Yeah, it's something in the main
Beauty
building area,
salons,
the
the whole
center.
bit.
That's where basically your restaurant, your
All gonna be
area-
in this same little spider, I'm calling it,
Well, that's
Yeah,
not,
but
that's
some-
gonna be big.
and then there's
big
also,
spider.
it's pretty big,
And what's the height of this spider?
Oh, it's gonna be high,
3
How
stories.
high?
3
stories.
levels, so you're looking at 40 feet high.
What's the height limit, Joe?
35.
35, that's it. We're gonna go with that.
That's a little too high.
Right? We might need a special fire truck for that.
35, right?
35 is the max.
Okay.
So if a
Double do.
in some 55 and over, it's just one member of the couple has to be 55. In your case, would it be everybody has to be over 55?
I don't know, we haven't thought about that.
I don't know,
So that's
I don't know about the legalities there in
Yeah.
terms of, but
Mhm.
I'm 56 and something happens to my wife, we have a disagreement. I fall in love with somebody 32 who has 7 kids.
Really? That's what you need a second
Yeah,
meeting.
you lucky dog, you. There's something wrong with you.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well,
Gonna have better choices.
So I can live
guess-
somewhere else then.
You may have to sell.
I guess you might wanna look into the legalities of can you
Yeah.
limit it to
Yeah, they have,
55 and over,
yeah,
everybody. I don't know, I'm asking the question, I'm not,
yeah,
I'm just trying to direct you into little things that you might wanna consider that will make it more favorable to the town.
yeah.
Cause my 7, all kidding aside, 7 kids doesn't make sense, but 1 or 2, when I marry somebody 37 with a 12-year-old and I'm 57,
Mm.
and I
You
got 2
dreaming.
bedrooms.
Stop it.
He's
You're
still-
thinking about that too
he's-
much.
he's
You're
so
thinking
bad.
about that too much.
What about pets?
Pets,
No pets.
can't have pets in
No
here.
pets. I don't-
I know these things too are also somewhat, it's gonna depend on the operator we bring on. And, you know, they know from soup to nuts how to operate this, from, you know, what's gonna sell as far as the size and the amenities
Right.
and what they're gonna allow in their rental units as
Bless
far
you.
as,
They're gonna tell you what they're gonna do,
yeah.
right?
So
Yeah.
the operator would be involved in the permitting process?
Yeah, we're hoping, yes. That's why we're trying to get it as much information as we can from the town, because there are different avenues to go as far as an operator out there. There's quite a few,
Mhm.
and a lot with very, very good track records.
Right.
And so that's, you know, that's who we'd be, you know, looking to bring on, and eventually. But they all have specifications.
Yeah, you wanna build to suit them, we wanna
Right,
build to
because they
suit what
will-
you think and then not be able to get them.
Right, exactly.
Well,
They
yeah,
only
but
buy into what they want, so you gotta know who.
That's right. We know who
Yeah.
we have to market towards.
All
So-
the assisted living units, the residents for those, I believe it's probably gonna be state approved, you might know that. Who does the screening you're gonna need somebody to screen for eligibility, I think, for the
Yeah,
for
that
the
would,
unit.
that would be the operator on signing the leases or selling the property, whatever it just comes down to. They're very, very strict. They do background check, they do everything there.
So this is gonna be ran by a company?
Professional. I've got a list of them right here, as a matter of fact.
Right. It's like a nursing home, Joe, like, Wingate and Epic and,
Right, so there's a
you
few
know,
of them that come
Mayberry
in,
and
right
all these
now.
other ones, you know.
It's a little different.
My wife's been working in the same facility for 27 years, but she's been working for like 10 different corporations, cause they just keep buying each other out.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
you know, because the money moves all the time,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, the typical nursing homes do that.
Yeah, it's, and they got a
But
big
this
assisted
is not
living.
a nursing
Yeah.
home. So. Right, so, well, we hope to be back before you, and we've gave us a lot of good information, and, I don't know if there's anything else
So-
you'd like to.
You're
Will
gonna
they
have
go
some more
next?
homework next time?
Yes, if you say, you know, we're on board and.
Maybe you got somebody in mind who you're gonna work with and what they want?
Sure.
Because, you know,
Sure.
it's not what you want, really, it's what they want, right?
Oh, they got the experience.
Yeah.
I think we should have, our attorney.
Cause all we hear now is 250.
the
That's all I'm hearing,
next time they come in.
250 cars.
A lot of
Well, I
your-
think
our
when they
attorney-
submit
What
their
it is.
special permit, we'll start with our attorney. When they submit their application, this is just informal, there's nothing.
We
Well, I
haven't-
wanna see what's eligible, not eligible for affordables.
Well, I think that we could just ask that question.
Good.
I actually wrote it down.
Oh, did you? Good.
So that
Yeah,
we
but
would check into that and see what would count as affordable and, but I think Peter's right, if they make them like per se condos and they try to sell them, then it would be typically only 20% or
Right.
whatever agreement they would make with this board. But if they're rentals, I believe that we'll get
Oh.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. it's
Right,
gonna be-
I really think that's how that works.
It's rentals
Yeah.
then.
And I
That's the
really
way to
think
go.
that for elderly in this town, we need more rentals, I think,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, Lincoln Village is
packed.
packed, and there's a waiting list of 6 years.
Yes, 7 years, I believe my
They
mom
have
checked.
cheap rent.
So, you know,
Lincoln Village has cheap rent.
Mm.
I don't know what your rent's gonna be, but
Well,
But
Lincoln
I-
Village goes
Competitive.
by your income guidelines,
Yeah.
so,
so I mean, unfortunately, if you are born in Dayton, grew up in Dayton, and you get to the point where you can't maintain your 30,000 or 2
Mhm.
acres, but you wanna stay in the community, this.
you're in
this-
trouble, cause there's no place to go.
Exactly, you need to go.
Mhm.
Fall River, just built one about 2 years ago, they're at capacity. And I know 3 people from Dayton that went there, so.
And we do have some people that own the homes there, and some of them are selling out because they get no, and they're not staying in town, they're moving out. So we're losing out on that, the town's
Mhm.
losing out.
Well, I'm in favor of it, providing that everything that you,
Thank you,
Meet all the regulations.
It sounds like a win-win, it really does.
great, I appreciate it. So I'm gonna start working gas, gonna start doing the other things and get somebody that really knows. And we'll do it again,
Perfect.
if that's okay.
alright?
Absolutely.
And I
I
thank you
thank
for your
you.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice
Have a
to
great
meet you,
night.
Mr. Almeida.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to see you again.
Thanks
Yeah, good
again.
to see you also.
can I keep your spider?
My honey.
You need it?
No, if you would, I'll take the one underneath. That's just my sketch. Do you guys need a copy of it?
I'll take one.
Or,
I'll take one too.
you want another one?
Yeah, just so that I'll
Give you
put it in
both.
your file, just so we have it. If anybody asks.
Well, hopefully we'll see you before the snow flies, but
Sousa
Oh,
property
I
in
hope
back?
so.
I did.
the
Cause
big
he
one
said
out.
he was still gonna
Sound
farm
like
it.
that'll
That'll
fly
fly
tomorrow.
He's gonna farm it
It's
as
like
long as
August.
we don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Once we have an
And
idea
that-
what the town
I'm
wants to
gonna
do
check
with this,
into see
I
if
can
this
go
it
ahead,
says there's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
talk to
business
Scott.
lots in the
Yeah.
middle, right? So we're gonna
Okay.
get
No, he's been good, he's been
tax
doing
revenue
it.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
businesses too.
Jimmy's a good
Well,
guy.
you should.
I never had no
Right?
problems
Yeah.
with him, so.
So Heidi, if you get an answer from him, would you just CC me possibly?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, just so we'll do our end of the research, but just so that
Absolutely.
everybody's on the same,
Yep.
same page with it.
And like you were saying, there's a lot of boulders in there.
Yeah.
If you need some, call me.
Oh.
He's got a lot of rocks in the field in the back near the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, I got real
You do,
boulders,
yeah.
it's not little ones.
I can imagine.
I had to buy a 235 to actually move some of them, so.
I got machines up there, I'll tell you, everything's potatoes, every time I dig, it's more potatoes coming out. Jesus Christ.
You can't stick a shovel in the ground without hitting the stone.
I know, it's amazing. Yeah, I was out there with a big bulldozer trying to level it, there's no way you can do it, it's gonna be excavated.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks again.
All
Yeah,
right.
very
Thank
nice.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Take care.
We got a bunch of stuff to sign, is that what
Yeah.
this is? So I guess we can start doing that, yes?
Okay, my proposals. Is it 2 or 3, right? Okay, that's
These are the
decisions.
Decisions for
For
council of two.
And I put in all your suggestions in there.
Oh, I forgot what I suggested already.
And then my letter,
Yours, I took yours, whatever you did, and then the board wanted to add some stuff, I just added their stuff, that's,
Yeah.
but I used your comments and whatever you, yeah. So, yeah, do you know what project I'm talking about with Tom? He just,
yeah, that's the,
Did you lose your
the
pen
bridge
already?
project.
the bridge, yeah,
Right.
he actually called me this morning.
Oh, he did call you? Oh,
Yeah.
alright, cause he said, if you're gonna see Peter tonight, let him know that, you know, but not
Just one spot.
Yeah, I think so.
first.
I was afraid he's asked about the school
No way they got
proposal,
so
he said the
250
program got
yards.
back to him.
Oh,
no way.
He didn't talk about it.
I don't know where that is, cause I actually haven't heard
That'd be
anything about that in a long time, like a few weeks now.
Well, yeah, he's just waiting for us, I guess.
Oh, alright, it's okay.
My wife got 110 bed
But he was funny, I think,
nursing
was he
home
talking to
and
Matt about it?
in one.
Yeah.
Matt come down and pick something up,
The
but he-
plans, the plans,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you
And
were
with
out in the
assisted
field
living
though,
and
and he
all
really
that,
said to Matt
she
was, I don't know, Peter did a lot of old
Is that
eye
across
rolling
the
at me,
street
so
from-
I don't know.
It's funny.
Struggling,
there.
they're struggling to
Yeah.
fill the beds
It's funny.
So do we have time?
It's a battle.
Yeah.
Huh?
Do we have time to take meetings here?
Although there are getting to be
Yes.
more older
Okay.
people, so
We
they got
do.
that going.
Alright, I mean, they haven't come in, but I had the plans for, Center Street Woods.
Oh,
Did you get copies of those?
I did, I just,
Whatever he's doing up there,
Printed it
I
out,
hope
it
he
was
gets it done
thick,
quick,
right?
because I wanna
No,
sell
just
my
the
house.
plans
so-
itself.
I didn't get no plans, I don't think.
Within a
Did he
couple of
CC me?
years.
I don't know on this one.
What is that, golf course, my house is over
So,
50 grand.
what's your verdict on that?
I think I'm okay, I think I'm gonna like
But
it a
I'm
little
waiting
bit
on him
differently,
to
but
come
if
on
it works,
a couple
it
years
works.
ago.
And that's what he wants to do.
And, do you think it's gonna work? Peter, you're the only one that needs to sign those.
Yeah.
So,
ISMC,
so
What is
drain
this?
lines,
Mm-hmm.
go back to this lot and go over behind that lot and go up to the detention
You got
basin.
that?
I do not.
I got one, I know.
So they're gonna,
This is the-
this is Sousa's house.
Yep.
So they're gonna dig a kind of a low spot down in here,
Mm-hmm.
and then have two pipes running down, and then running down to here. One of them goes into the basin, and one discharges to the side. Should work.
Yeah?
I suggested,
I
you could
seen
do it
that.
somewhat differently. I kinda suggested maybe it goes in front of the lot, but he says this is where the septic system is gonna be. And they're
Yeah, you
aware
see how
that
they
they're
designed
gonna
those
need
before?
drainage
They don't know what
easements,
design they
so-
go
Something became of our,
They have to
Joint
find somebody
meetings,
to
huh?
sell this to.
Oh, yeah,
Show the
absolutely.
assessor's office.
But like you said,
yeah.
Can I show this board quickly?
Yep,
so I know?
we do.
Oh,
Harris Lane?
Yes,
Yeah. Oh, here's an answer.
here's
I mean, they might find a company, see how,
Ferris
right?
Lane,
How you do?
we'll let Peter
Push it
finish
all
signing
in.
it.
Dude, where do you wanna build that?
You gotta do important things
Yeah,
first.
you got the
Peter.
cab
It's
rides.
like payroll.
Peter's contract.
Who with? You gonna take a cab from Hunter's Hill over there?
The cab?
Yes.
It's actually not a bad area, it only takes you
Get the
Swansea Mall, 10 minutes, which is going
Yeah,
out of
that's a-
business.
that's a
and
all
Advertise.
great.
You can get to 195.
They're gonna put the assisted living center in the former Swansea Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can get to 195 within 10 minutes,
10 minutes,
or River
yeah.
in 15 minutes. It's really not,
yep,
Thank you.
it's not too bad up there. When I first built, I thought I was really
Did you
gonna be in
check
the woods,
that
but
by
then,
any
hey,
No,
this
I
isn't
haven't.
bad, you know?
But
Yeah, people
kind
are
of-
thinking about
I mean,
going north.
I
but you gotta
didn't
do quite a
get
way
down
to
in here.
get somewhere.
but I have a
And the
feeling
495,
that
I mean, 195.
Yeah,
is-
20
This
minutes
is
into Providence.
either level
Yeah, that's a good point.
It could be level.
or slightly pitching back to this.
Who's next, Heidi?
And they,
It's
the police
30
station, but,
30 and 30,
I
yeah.
mean,
So-
ISM Solar's here,
30,
you
yes,
wanna
but
just
this
hear
is a
him,
high point.
police
Yeah.
station, wanna
Yeah.
do that?
Sure.
But it could be going, it could be fluctuating in here.
Greg?
So, but if they put this low spot in here, it should pull the water.
And grade it to this point here, yeah,
Yeah,
that-
but
that's,
it's 29 in here, so everything will be graded down.
Okay, so
We just had-
I mean,
Yeah.
not
I
that
wish we
I'm
could do it
sticking up
too.
for
Yeah, I know.
anybody or
Get
anything
it.
like that, but
Get
I've
it
seen
right here, too.
situations
Thank
His
you.
like
engineer
that.
isn't here yet.
And I
It's
see
okay.
one right
Okay,
next
so
to
the
the
Form
job
A
that
vote, so we
my
can
son
sit
is
around
on
and
right
write
now.
I know it.
It's absolutely
Just
horrible.
Well, I thought the
Wait until after.
presentation for Hunter's Hill would be a little bit longer than that.
What does DeRosa wanna do?
Most likely
Oh, he
we'll
just
be
has
talking
a
to
flea
you about
market
that
there?
in the future. But
So-
yeah,
So is he,
It's like what he says.
everything that
This
he
is gonna-
cleared,
not
is
gonna
he
be
gonna
an easy
do
one
a
to
flea
do.
market where he clears?
No,
far
that's
as the
actually a
picture.
separate parcel.
because,
Oh.
They're making the basis.
He's just doing the flea market at,
oh, they're making
Is
the
that,
basic
is
deed,
that cleared parcel for sale?
no, he bought
He
that,
bought
that was
that,
the
yeah.
church, that was the church actually,
that's right.
that- it's
Yeah,
like
okay.
15 and change acres.
Gotta go look at it.
He actually,
Okay, alright.
so the medical
They can do
marijuana
outlet. I mean, this is
dispensary
a
people,
lot of
you
work
know
to
that
fix
they could
this,
only go
but
to Princess House.
Probably
Yeah.
what's
Well,
necessary.
Princess House wants nothing to do with it.
Really?
Well, when they built this house, they screwed it up.
So,
But this is
So-
good. We're gonna,
Yeah,
the
and I
board
believe
needs
that he's the
to
one that
think
made
of,
that
we
decision
need
of
to
dropping
change
this
the medical
foundation
overlay,
by
'cause
2
right now
feet.
that's
That-
the only
that
place
was
we allow it.
insane.
Yeah.
So we need to remove it from Princess House,
Yeah.
and we need to find a new
Claimed that it
location.
would look like hell if he didn't do
De
what he did.
Rosa is interested on that cleared
Come on,
parcel,
what-
that if we
I
were
don't know.
to,
I would- yeah, I wasn't
No, that's what he
put
said.
the
He
overlay
said,
on
"Man,
that,
it would've looked
his
like hell if
property,
I raised
that
that
he would
house
build
and
a
they moved it."
facility out back for the dispensary. I also know that Giorgio's Plaza was Green Harbors, when they went around town looking at various things, and I believe that Giorgio's Plaza was one of their top,
Giorgio's Plaza.
Well, Alice's
Alice's, sorry,
restaurant.
Oh,
they don't
yeah,
own it anymore,
Yeah, I
but
didn't know it was called Giorgio's Plaza.
I call it Giorgio's
Oh,
Plaza,
okay.
Yeah,
because
he
for
built it.
years,
He built it.
Giorgio's owned the
Yeah.
plaza, so I
Yeah, yeah,
just,
yeah.
I don't know.
what's in there now, Alice?
Dighton Rock Plaza, I think
Alice
that's
is
it.
in the recycling
In the
place, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yep.
I was thinking of Daddy-O's anyway.
That would be a good spot for it right there,
Where? At Alice's.
Giorgio's Plaza.
Yeah. Diane Rock Plaza, yeah.
But
So, but that's something that we should probably start working on, so that comes October, we got all our ducks in a row, we can put the medical overlay someplace else, so that they can come in, I mean,
do you have to move it? Can't you just leave that one in place there? Because Princess House, that building's for sale.
well, we could,
You know, somebody
and we
else
could
could
add,
buy
ano-
it.
and we could add another
You could just add
overlay
on.
district,
I would leave it there.
yeah, and then put another one somewhere.
Cause that, it might be a selling point to someone else looking to buy that big building.
Well, the previous owners didn't mind it before these owners bought it, cause when we enacted that bylaw, we spoke with Princess House owners, so.
The thing about down by the Dighton Rock Plaza is that's a village overlay district, and if you have a medical marijuana facility, you can pretty much toss the village overlay out the window, cause it's just not really compatible, I don't think. I'm just talking off the top of my head, but if it were I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to become village-like, so it may not really matter. Something is better than nothing.
Nothing.
If the sewer doesn't get down there,
Sewer's not gonna get down there, it'd be nice if it did.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some grant money or something in order to do that.
Talk to the sewer commissioners,
I've tried.
or maybe, have it come up from
'Cause I-
Somerset.
Well, I've suggested to them, I'm not sure, why don't we work with Somerset? I mean, it's right there, even if we brought it up Pleasant Street for right now, that would kill a
Yeah.
lot of our problems
Oh,
on
I know,
Pleasant Street, we
yeah.
have huge problems.
Yeah.
They're gonna be Tom's problems before we know it, but, just to bring it up Pleasant Street for now, and then
And
maybe we
into
can
the park.
continue, right, into
Yeah.
something, because, and I, in my mind, I can't believe there isn't grant money somewhere out there.
To save the
Save the
scenic
bay,
waterway.
right,
Yeah,
exactly,
it's a
all these-
It's a national scenic waterway, there's gotta be something.
There's gotta be something, I just, I can't, we're polluting it. They should
Yeah.
give us some grant money for some sewer down there, I mean, I don't know, so,
What about does the water district still own their building? They didn't do anything with that yet, right?
No, they still don't.
no,
As far as I
they
know.
still own
and
it,
then they don't wanna sell it either.
but they could lease it.
they won't do it, they need it.
What do they need it for?
Hey, listen,
Pretty soon their wellheads over there are gonna be all contaminated from the junkyard we got going on the
Yeah.
side there.
Which
They,
is-
I actually called them on that and they said, no, we need it, there's no way
You
we're
know
gonna sell that.
where
I said,
Princess,
"But
the big
you guys had
Princess
it up
house
for
is,
sale
right?
before."
No,
Duncan, you know where Duncan is? No.
On 138, just
What do
before you get into
no,
Taunton?
he comes over the bridge and
Comes
never
over the
goes that
bridge.
way,
Oh,
right?
right.
Yeah, you never go that way.
Right on the Taunton Dayton border.
oh, that, yeah, okay, I come by that way sometimes,
Yeah,
yes.
well, there's a
Right
little
after the
garage
water
there
district
and,
Mhm.
it's like a junkyard out back there,
Oh,
nobody,
okay.
Every day
But-
there's more cars.
yeah, but our wellheads are there, so that shouldn't, be there.
What's
Is that the
zoning
Board of
official-
Health?
zoning
Has the
Zoning.
jurisdiction?
Well, Jim don't seem too worried about it, so.
that's his responsibility, too.
Yeah.
I would think it's in the selectmen's too, they issue permits for junkyards.
Or do they?
Yeah.
Then it's, yeah.
I don't think they have a junkyard permit.
It's
I
zoning
don't think so
enforcement.
either, cause they
zoning.
didn't come here for a site plan.
They
Well,
are
may
coming
not
in?
triggered it.
Did you say they are coming in?
No, they haven't. I thought they should
I
at
don't even know
least.
who's put the cars there, do you?
No, I have no idea who they are.
Alright, so this is the plan I got from Prime. They sent it for me and some.
Maris Lane.
Maris
Oh, okay.
Lane, and with some revised calculations, I've gone back and forth with the
The red is
engineer.
your writing or theirs?
Yeah, some suggestions, I was wondering why he didn't do a more direct route of kinda cutting across the cul-de-sac area, he says that's where the septic system will be going. It's a lot of work, there's gonna be 2 pipes running, and he needs that in order to make the hydraulics work. And they'll be deepening the basin to,
Handle the flow.
well, more the elevations, getting the elevation
Okay.
from, so they're putting a
Alright.
low area in the back of the Souza property with a head wall there, and then collecting the water, and running it down through. Like that, and one will bypass the basin, one will go into the basin with a new outlet from the basin too, so I mean, that's a huge amount of work, but, I mean.
And so, they're not going this way, why? Because of the septic?
The septic is in the
For
front.
this house?
Yes,
Right here?
yeah, that's what he said.
Must get really close.
Right.
But it's a lot of pipe. I asked him about that, and I asked him, saying that, you know, that you're gonna have to have drainage easements on that property for the pipes. And he says, that's no problem, he says, I guess that lot is under agreement, and they're aware of these conditions,
Hmm.
and what's being proposed.
So they already have the septic plan?
I think they've done the test pits and have a good idea where they, I don't know if they have a plan, but
Oh,
they-
wait,
they-
this is the lot, all this whole,
Yeah.
Mhm.
okay, so I see, so that could be where they're talking about
the septic.
the septic. Well, that seems far away from the house, but whatever.
Oh, they might have to pump it, but if that's, you know, the house.
Well,
could
that's
be-
36, 35, 34, so
Oh,
depending
yeah,
on the
that'll work.
wetlands,
That'll work.
depends on the wetlands. I don't know what type of foundation of this is.
Will far be equal to or above the road, should
Yeah.
be. So that's, we're in discussion on that, and I think we're close to coming to a solution.
Okay, good. So, do you think we should put them on our July
Well,
meeting?
that's, I will tell you that one question, I just double check on the water levels in the basin, and otherwise, you know, I'm saying, you know, we're gonna tell him, it's okay from my end, and then he should be giving back to the developer saying, hey, the engineer says it's okay,
Let's do it.
let's do it. Okay?
Yeah.
Progress. So it's the police station next?
Mm-hmm.
It's a final.
Oh, let's hope. Never know, right? Thought the last one was final.
Well, probably internal changes to the building and kind of pushes it.
Yeah, well, I think I love it.
Well, I have a full set here too, if you want, I can share this with you guys.
Maybe I'm gonna go to bed.
We've done a lot of markups on it.
I looked it over.
Me too, that's why we're gonna
A lot of
have
minor
that.
changes,
Just don't have
nothing
the police
significant.
station, it doesn't matter what we say anyway. But anyway, they got Peter's approval, so,
Yeah, it's a lot of minor changes, it's nothing
from the
significant.
last time.
Is the building smaller, Peter?
Bigger,
It's bigger.
that's,
Okay, so they're still using that,
yes. But they still have a main,
Main one's over here, that's
Yeah.
secondary.
Yeah, that's
Right,
what
but
that's
Cruise
what
where
is
the
happened-
police
only.
comes in.
what happened
That's
to
what
the
Cruise is on.
three different pieces of land that were not owned, that, you know,
That's still, I don't know, it was, I don't know how they dealt with the land ownership issues.
Oh, yeah.
they had to cross.
That piece
Yeah,
of
I
land,
remember
were gonna make
Lisa
an easement.
specifically saying that there was 3 parcels there.
So that would be a zoning issue.
Yeah, but they're going to the zoning board of appeals, at the end of the month.
If they haven't resolved that already.
They made an appointment with the zoning board of
Okay.
appeals, so.
Okay.
Can't believe nobody's here.
Well, it's early.
Five, huh?
It doesn't matter.
I mean, he was here already. This is the high point of that road, and that's probably the worst spot for that entrance.
Well, they still have enough site clearance. They haven't moved the entrance much of any.
I didn't go.
Look through all the grade.
I didn't go. I didn't go, I didn't go. I go there, I wanna leave.
It's good play, I've been there a couple of
Yeah.
times. Pretty good.
47.
The food's really good.
Yeah, very good.
This is the high point, I
Yeah,
guess.
here someplace.
Oh. It's your letter of approval.
I'm curious to see what happens to these easements.
The major accident
Last
right there.
time that I had a situation like this,
I lived across the
my
street.
lawyer recommended that I
I sat
didn't
on
Major.
own
I
any
sat
part
on
of that
that
easement.
porch and I'll tell ya, I used to feel like.
Give them
I
that,
used to
all of a
feel
sudden
like,
they're-
how in the world are they ever gonna put that police station there?
This is,
I've
this
been
is.
saying it all along, nobody wants to listen.
I couldn't get out
They
sometimes.
got a septic
What is
system.
that?
O'clock
What
in
is
the
the issue?
morning.
Infiltration
Yeah,
system,
accidents.
infiltration
Oh, yeah.
system.
Yeah,
It's gonna be right there.
If
Sometimes
somebody
I'm trying to get out of my
Sideways.
driveway to come
Gets
to work
hurt,
at 8
yeah.
o'clock, it
You're
would
gonna
take
right.
me
The
5,
entrance
10,
is
15
through that
minutes,
right?
yeah.
Who's the abutter?
Well, the
Yeah.
back, and then you come,
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
then you,
Yeah.
Tearing
you
around
got
the
your foot in the
soil.
gas and you're
I was
going.
against this location from day one.
Do some serious signage on the road.
You're not kidding.
Well, at fire stations, they put yellow blinking lights. Would they do the same here?
It's a state
Eventually,
highway, it's a state highway.
eventually.
Well, they did it
they'll-
on 44
They'll
for
have
They
six
can
to.
years.
still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just have to go through the state. for it.
Yeah,
They
eventually
follow
they
that.
will,
I think,
Where do you
Yeah.
see that?
that's probably
did it in
definitely in the.
One big accident, they'll expedite the,
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Lightning Power
exactly.
LLC.
unfortunately, that's what it'll
Yeah.
take.
In the
Yeah.
agreement, I believe there's language that says if anybody gets hurt in their easement, they're not responsible.
Before there was a light on that corner,
there
there was
was also
maybe 2 accidents.
2 easement
A week.
crossings here,
And then they put the light in,
from here to
Nothing.
here,
hardly any accidents at all.
and I don't see
Yeah.
them there.
Cause I had my barber shop right there and I told
Would they be
911.
in this previous?
Crash, I just
Oh,
said
no, it'd be in
911.
the next one.
speed dial.
Yeah. Lot of wrecks.
That's what
That's gonna be
Lisa was
dangerous.
saying
Mhm.
earlier, that
Well,
there
I
was
said that
2
5
crossings
years
here
ago, I don't know why they ever chose this site,
Dean Cronin
that
loved that
they
site.
couldn't
Yeah.
come in through here because of the
not sure why, but
the
it's not a
easements.
I
very,
think they could
No,
have built it
it's-
between the tennis
guys remember
courts
that at
and
all,
the
or were
existing.
you not
The
No,
only thing I
because of,
remember about all
flood.
of this is
Flood.
that
it's in a,
it
actually in a,
wasn't getting
yeah,
approved
pretty well.
because they
Yeah.
wanted to use that as the
yeah, I
primary
mean,
entrance.
right behind those tennis courts is,
And that got
The river, yeah.
consistently denied, and it was moved over here,
Yeah.
and that was the secondary one.
So this was
oh my
always here.
god, let's think about this.
They haven't
They
changed
never
anything
got out of their
from,
box, right?
from what
That
was
committee
before.
never got out
They're
of
too
their
excited
box.
over
But this
water and
complies
sewer.
with the approved plan.
But let,
You've
look at
already
this-
approved
Look
this.
at this, what we
right?
have right here.
No,
Now,
I
we're
don't
dumping all
think
this
so.
money into
I think we
Old
did.
Town Hall.
Yeah,
You did?
yeah.
My opinion, make this the new police station.
Yeah,
Let's add on to Old Town Hall, we need a new town hall. Make that new town hall, we guarantee when it's been done.
6 point something.
Heidi, do you remember Lisa talking about there being 2 or 3 easement crossings here, and that was the reason why? She didn't, no, here. This is-
Yeah, I know, I'm trying to get my bearings.
Okay.
So this is their driveway,
Power plant driveway.
okay?
There was something about
Police
crossing
here.
this.
I believe it, because it's private, but I think the whole easement and the whole, what she was talking about at this time is when they wanting this board to consider this
The
a
primary.
public way, accept it as a roadway so that we could, but that brought up that, you know, we'd have to give an easement to the power plant, cause now the power plant has no frontage. They clearly got a variance to access that because
For utility.
for utility, so that's what she was referring to, cause she actually never came to a site plan meeting, Peter's done that. When we asked her to come to the meeting, when the Board of Selectmen asked us if we would consider this as a public way, and we would take it to town meeting for us to accept it.
But this has been approved, right? We've approved this as a site plan.
Yes, we
Right,
have,
yeah,
but
it's
then
all
they
approved.
made
So they're making
change.
just some minor modifications, so that's what we're looking.
Right,
they're,
and
yeah, fairly minor.
Peter's,
Remember the
yeah.
night we had 3 different lawyers here making 3 different
Yeah.
decisions on?
But that was on trying to make this a public way and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, that was when, right, those easements
That
was
went
all
away
part of.
quickly. That went away quickly.
Yeah, we, yeah, especially once they started the legalities of making that, that's what Lisa was talking about, easements and this and that and, all that good stuff. Yeah, so we have already approved the site plan, so we are just approving the minor modifications.
I think you have to move that it's a minor modification and then vote
For,
to approve
right,
them.
first we need to, make a motion to determine it in minor modification. And then we'll make a motion, somebody make a motion to approve the minor modifications. Got all that ready?
I'm not doing that.
Piece of cake.
What?
Piece of cake.
K? K? Give me husband on that type of cake. K? Give me
Is that the one there?
I'm not kidding about my bedtime.
I know, don't worry, we're gonna have you in bed.
It's fishing week for
So
me.
it's very
I
moving.
got up at 2:22 this
Just
morning.
made the
Oh,
building
yeah.
a little
Yeah,
bit
Where do you go
bigger
fishing?
and the
Canal.
actual park.
Oh, yeah?
Next couple of days I'll be in the canal, good tides.
Not much.
Went this morning, we got fish but no monsters.
Oh, yeah,
Hello.
Tomorrow the bear's coming, maybe
yeah.
Friday for sure. Next Saturday, next Friday.
Right there.
They left
Yeah.
you, just let you come in here all by yourself? Oh,
Sure.
good.
Yeah, what do you suggest?
Hello, how are you?
Okay.
Hi.
Good.
Evening.
Good evening.
But see if I talk over here. Is that okay for you?
Go
We're
right
into it?
ahead.
Alright.
Right into it.
Process our
No
action.
preamble, just go.
Yeah, alright, probably start with the action, then with the site plan here.
That was prettier than this one.
It's nice when you add color to it, right?
Unless it's not red.
Yeah. So, just, I guess an update from last time we were here in February of 2016, I believe. The site is fairly similar. I'll just go over sort of the overall layout first and then just show you what the differences are. So our public and police entrance is on Somerset Avenue. Yes, stepping back, everyone knows why we're here. This is a police station. Right down the street from the existing one. This is Dayton Power driveway. The pond right back there, and then the existing this Elm Street comes off this way. Existing police station right down here. So on Somerset Avenue is going to be our primary entrance. There's a secondary entrance by means of an easement on the Dayton Power driveway. That's going to be authorized vehicles only. That's just police and probably exiting fire trucks or exiting garbage trucks. It's not public use. The parking, I don't know if you remember the original plan, we had parking on both sides of the building. This is consistent with the last February's plan, with moving all the parking over to one side of the building. And essentially what happened between last February 2016 and now is the building actually expanded 40 feet to accommodate additional use. With that, the driveway came over about 17 feet down Somerset Avenue. We removed the parking right against the building. There used to be head-in parking against the building, but just trying to reduce that shift of the driveway down, we took that parking out and actually moved it to this side. So this is the parking on I guess that's technically the south side of the site. Plan left is this one out about 27 feet. So overall, it's almost the exact same layout, just a little bit of an expansion. We upsized the infiltration system below the parking lot to handle it's about 5,000 square feet of additional impervious. The Peter Williams from GZA reviewed the plans, signed off that it's in the same general intent as the previously approved plans. He didn't have any further comments. And I think the dumpster got switched, flipped around to a side. There's a pad mounted transformer, which wasn't on there before. They thought it was gonna be a pole mounted transformer. But essentially, other than that, the plan is the same. I kind of brought this out. So you can see, I think it's gonna be kinda hard to see from there probably, but the original building line that was approved last February is right here. And then, the new building is right here. So that's really, same here.
You said there was parking on both sides originally?
Yeah, there was,
That was way back.
way back, yeah,
Right.
not in February, this was summer of 2015 or
That was
2016.
prior to.
Yeah, there was parking originally on both sides, and then there was some issues about public access being off the Dayton Power driveway.
Yeah, I remember that.
So we had, I should say, variances to do parking and development on this piece of land here that we don't own. It's an easement. We do have an easement for it. Same with the access from Dayton Power. And also we needed a variance for the front yard setback just due to the topography sloping off back here to be able to fit stuff in. We're on the ZBA agenda for the 21st. So we got those variances once. We're expecting to be able to get them again. It's just that it was been more than a year, so they expired. Sorry, just to finish off that thought, that was the original. So one waiver that we are requesting that wasn't on here before, by sliding this parking out, there's a 20-foot parking setback to Somerset Avenue. We're in there by, I don't know, maybe 2.5 feet, just trying to get those parking spaces back. This is treed in here. It's nothing that you'd actually notice from not being on the property, but if we kick it, it's just gonna be kind of an awkward alignment inside the site. So it seems insignificant to us, so we figured it was worth asking for a waiver for you guys as part of the site plan to just encroach into that setback. So otherwise, I think that's about it, and it's a pretty much the summary of what's changed since the last time the board voted to approve it.
Do you have a bylaw, zoning bylaw, that is pretty good?
You're saying it's a waiver, isn't that a zoning?
It's not a ZBA variance?
I think
not-
I think it would come from the zoning board, not from us.
No, we spoke to Jim Aguirre, and he told us it was a waiver, which was our understanding as well, reading the bylaws, is that it's a site plan waiver. It's a site plan requirement,
Oh, okay,
Oh,
I see what
okay.
you're saying.
Yeah, so he was under the understanding that's not a variance.
So the variance is if you needed a setback.
Yeah, like a
Right.
dimensional, dimensional relief, yeah. And I think this 20-foot setback was from the, it's in the requirements of the
We
site
usually
plan.
make them comply with that. What is it, 34?
Sorry, Peter, I was speaking about your letter earlier, I didn't
It's
know
all
you were
right.
sitting at the other table.
So it's just that little corner we're talking about?
Yeah, it's two spaces, the second space kind of touches it, the other one is
The
into
one
a pipe.
further to the north is just a
So what
little
is it,
sliver.
like a
Yeah.
foot or two?
Probably two, I don't have, I should've gotten that dimension off the plan, but, yeah, it might be slightly over two. That space is 19 feet long, so, this is at that, yeah, maybe 2 or 3 feet.
What are we missing here, Peter?
I have a question for you while we're looking this up. On the original agreement, has that been renewed that you know of, or are we close to the timeline?
Yeah, we're
Within the 5 years?
oh,
The agreement with
Power
Power
plant?
Plant.
yeah, that got misunderstood. I have to refer back to the plant. I've been talking to what's his name?
Mike Joyce?
Felix, Michael Joyce, right? And Michael Joyce says, no, that wasn't, he looked into it, and he says, that wasn't part of the original agreement that was binding. So, I got the original agreement, and I gave you, the board a copy of that. Oh,
Yeah,
so-
I was there on the Board of Selectmen when we signed the original agreement, and my understanding was 5 years, or
If you tried to use it for something else other than that, after 5 years, that's what he said, other than a police station or a municipal use.
yeah, I'm sure it wouldn't have been an issue, but after all this, I hope it doesn't become an issue with the,
No, because I've been
I
keeping
think
him
two
abreast of it and communicating with him, so that he knows all our timelines and when we're gonna be, he knows that we went for bid and
yeah, it's something you might
we get
wanna
it
check
awarded
into.
and
the-
then-
we can certainly check it.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
check
5-year
it.
agreement.
I'll give him another buzz, cause he's the one that put my mind at ease about that question.
Yeah.
I don't think,
I was hoping Jim would be here.
I really think it's something.
I don't think
but
it would be an issue.
question
They've worked with
As
us.
far as site plan,
Yeah, right,
you read it,
because it
it's-
came up
we
too
don't-
as a
Here's right here,
question at one point
3150.
where we were gonna try to,
Oh, I see parking
maybe
within
move
10
the
feet of
building
property
more
line.
to
Yeah,
the,
so you
Or
need,
20 feet of
to
a
the,
right
I
of
thought
way.
there was
to the
something
right,
that
and ask
allowed
for a
waivers to,
variance to be within,
yeah,
less than
It
whatever the
does.
10
Wait a
foot or
minute.
20 foot
Yeah.
is from the
planning
side.
board may upon
and
requesting the applicant waiver
I went to him and asked him
requirements of
if he would have
400.
concern about that, or the power plant
Requirements
would
of
have
What section was
concern,
that?
That's
because that would be
31,
very
40.
technically
So you need to
involved with
get
that
that.
I mean,
too,
this
and he
does
says,
say
no,
you have to
the
comply
power
with
plant,
parking
he
and
would-
landscaping
Right.
and zoning
he
requirements.
would
The board
say
can
that
vote to
power
say,
plant, we
you know,
wouldn't
noting
have
in there,
concern
so
with
they
that, but we
understand
never
that,
did that.
Yeah.
We never
parking
never
does not meet
involved
that
that.
zoning requirement,
Okay.
doesn't
Check the
have
fine print and
a,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least get
does
something
not
from
I would
them
feel-
or
object
something
to it.
there, yeah.
Well, I
And
think
you
I
should-
would feel
I would-
better and
I would think
everybody
you would just
involved with it.
certainly-
put in the waiver request, add that to your variance request, just to cover yourself.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if it can, though, 'cause I think she advertised it, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, if you can get it in here, to
We can
to
note
recognize it,
and recognize it,
At
that
least-
the
at least
board
that's step
accepts it,
one.
yeah.
yeah. And then I'll work with Jim on that, 'cause, yeah, through our discussions, he said it wouldn't need a variance, but I defer defer to him.
Well, you're supposed to.
Yeah, right.
You're supposed to, but.
Yeah.
Justin, we lose a parking spot if we comply with it and push.
We can.
Oh, but I mean, you're a foot or two off, I don't think it's
Do like
that.
other places
Yeah.
do, small cars only.
Yeah, right.
Compact,
The
yeah,
compact-
the
compact
compact
cars,
size.
yeah, unfortunately.
Compact space.
Do they, is there a
Well,
provision in there for compact and width?
That's probably still under the parking,
Yeah.
3140,
Right.
3100.
And there might be something on there about up to a certain percentage, which we could look at. Again, it's for a couple feet.
I don't
I hate to
recall
do
that,
it.
I don't recall that in
Yeah.
this.
But we can ask Jim.
Well,
I think
can we make a motion to vote on a waiver that is, conditional on the ZBA?
What I
or
was
how-
suggesting is that the board in its decision on the minor modification indicate that they're aware that the plan requires, it doesn't meet the 20-foot setback from a street right of way and has no objection to this.
Okay. And then if
And
the
if Jim's
ZBA,
okay with it, yeah,
if
then
ZBA
it's-
says that you need the variance, well, then you need it, but.
Well, he's saying
he's-
there's not, so if they go in and get the
Yeah.
building permit,
Yeah.
he's not gonna say, hopefully he would not then say that you need the variance.
Exactly.
But then.
But I
if
think
he
it might be a
leaves-
conversation with just him and Marguerite and find out what they wanna do.
So I think we need a motion first to approve this as a minor site plan review, right? So I'll make that motion.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent.
Go ahead.
Process-wise, is there a,
What was that
decision
wording
that
again
goes to,
you
a draft
used?
decision that goes to them?
No,
for-
they haven't made a decision, they just
No.
voted to agree that this is a minor
Minor,
modification,
Oh,
not a
but that was
major
the- okay.
modification.
Gotcha.
Now, what did you say again?
You got the vote to approve the minor modification.
With the understanding that the parking,
You can, yeah,
right,
yeah. What, you know, maintain the existing conditions of the permit. And you can, in your decision, you can, and this is not
Include
part of your
that?
motion, but you can include
Okay.
in your decision that the
Okay.
board understands that
okay,
that the proposed parking plan does not provide the 20-foot setback from the street right away and has no objection to this.
That sounds real good.
So we just have to approve, make a motion to
So,
approve
yeah.
the minor modification.
Right.
Yeah, with the understanding that the parking, one spot of the parking will not meet the 20-foot setback.
Okay, so you just made that motion, and I'll
One of
second
us
it.
did. We both did, I guess, along with Peter.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now my question then.
yes,
Just
I will do a
process-wise.
decision.
So you do a draft decision, does that come back to us first for review?
Yep, I will
and-
actually I'll send it to you to review,
Yeah.
I'll send it to Peter to review, and we can all throw in our 2 cents, and then we'll
and it
create
gets
the
voted-
final.
It gets voted on the board
No,
after,
we already
or is it-
voted.
oh, it's
We'll
just,
just
it just
sign
signs
it.
it,
Yep.
okay, excellent.
Yep,
Okay, great, well, thank you very much.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
We'll let you know how, what Jim says.
We'll make Jack Taylor smile now.
Yeah.
He will
Gotta
now.
keep smiling.
We appreciate you guys getting this. Yes, thank you for that
Thanks.
as well.
Exactly, I was just gonna say that.
Put 'em up in September.
I really didn't have a choice. I was putting them off till August, and Jack was like,
Who's next?
and then, no, we can't do that. I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see if he's ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
We're ready.
We'll get you out of here.
Well, hopefully.
What you been doing?
So we are discussing your solar plans.
Yes, something different. I've met with you guys several times now, Greg Lucini, my son Mike is here, oh, here he is, son Mike Lucini.
I can
We-
tell that's your son.
He's got the same gray hair. We were, the original developers on the original Elm Street site, the land that was owned by Bruce Kingsley. So I bought that land, developed it, sold the project to Sun Edison. Sun Edison went bankrupt. We worked with them to help NRG acquire it. NRG bought it and is now in the final stages of finishing that array. So that array is about ready to be turned on soon.
This is the one that we walked the site a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, you walked it with Protec probably,
Yeah.
the EPC.
Mhm.
So that was the first project we did. The second project is the Barboza land on William Street. That's 2.6 megawatts. So the first one's 4.5. Barboza's is 2.6. That project, we permitted it, developed it, and we sold it to a combination of, well, ultimately it's gonna land in the hands of John Hancock, the insurance company. So, and that's our strategy with all these projects, to deal with big, long-term players. Sun Edison was the biggest in the world at the time, but they were strictly renewable. Now we're looking for partners who have more than just renewable energy to back them, so that we can count on them being here. So Sun Edison John Hancock bought the second. That's been going up really fast. You've seen in that case how you build a big solar array when you don't have a bankruptcy in the way. And you see how fast that thing went up. It's almost done. It's pretty much mechanically complete. They're just pulling the wires to finish the interconnection now. But all the glass is there, the inverters are there. So that'll be finished soon as well.
William Street.
Right, it's almost done. And, you know, one of the things that I've told this board as well as the Concom and the public hearings, that we try and find places where they're not in the public view, they're not like the ones in Berkeley that everybody stares at all day long, complains about. I think that's really important. So we either hide them in the select projects that can be hidden in the woods, or we find ways to screen them, so that they're not eyesores. And the project we're gonna introduce you to tonight fits that exact scenario. What we call Elm Street One, the first project that we sold to on the Bruce Kingsley land that we sold to now at NRG, that's on the east side of Hunters Hill. You come up the hill, the transmission line goes across the top of it, and on the west side of it, which is also my land, is where the second project will go. So here's the lot. This is where, this is Elm Street.
Where's the first array and the second array?
Yep, first is here,
Okay.
second's here.
So
Okay.
Elm Street would
Now you're
probably
gonna come
be
here.
We're
about
coming
here.
here.
Right
Oh,
through
this is
there.
on the other side of the power lines,
Yeah,
okay,
the other side of the power.
This is the existing
Kinda
one.
going over
And
to
how you
Hunters
gonna
Hill,
access
they're basically
that?
going
Yeah.
over to Hunters Hill.
How you getting to it? Same road?
Through the
Same.
site.
The same road.
And when I said that one can't be seen, this one's hidden as well.
You got one house over here?
This is a barn.
Okay.
It's a horse barn here. Hart Street is probably, it's about 1,600 feet out to Hart Street also.
Okay.
So we're about 2,800 feet to Elm Street, 1,600 feet to Hart Street.
Is that abutting Hunters Hill project
Yes,
up there?
that's
Yeah,
why I
so
was here
saying
for the
it's
earlier
Hunters
meeting.
Hill, yeah. Where's that, we have that one from Hunters Hill, it's probably on that. Is it? Oh, maybe it cuts.
No,
Nah,
well,
maybe it's
right
not.
here.
That's the west side of Hunters Hill.
So we're back here,
Oh,
here's the
okay.
easement,
Oh,
we're,
so it's like over there.
Is
Right
this the
here.
barn right here?
Yeah, it's
The barn,
large, yeah.
it's just laying right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So here's the existing array, is right in here.
Right.
Here's the easement, and we're right here. The wetland line is somewhere in this area, we're up in here.
How far are you gonna be from the development, any idea?
From this,
Oh, far, far
It's
away.
on the-
Yeah,
It's
the
gonna have the
golf
golf course
Yeah,
between
this,
it.
Yeah.
this,
Oh, okay.
there's
far,
two
far away.
strips,
Alright.
two
So
strips
your
of
road's coming
wetlands.
all the way up.
Yeah.
yeah, it already comes to
Shocking,
here.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Yeah.
to right about there, where all that equipment is.
Right,
It almost goes right to the.
It goes, you can drive
the
right up to
line.
the.
you drive
Yeah.
up to the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fence guys were up there when we were walking it. They were actually putting fence in along the electrical line, but.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's good location.
Well, that's the way we're looking at it, that it's equally as hidden. We're gonna make use of the same infrastructure wherever we can.
So will your interconnect just go across to get to here, to Elm Street, or is there another
I'll let
place?
you take it.
I got one other, isn't it, I don't know if there's any endangered species habitat up in that area?
Nope.
No?
We're outside any mapped areas.
Okay, cause I thought they had that issue with Hunter's Hill.
Yeah, it's further, there's an area further to the south.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
they've got
great.
such a big area that eventually they're gonna run into it.
Is that wooded, is that all?
Yes,
Yeah, it's
the
all
wood area,
wooded.
it's wooded, it's been selectively cut for, wood, they had a permit
Right.
for it for years.
Yeah.
So it's been thin, but it's still wooded.
So this is how it connects?
Well, this is our site, the new site.
Yeah, the new site,
This
yeah.
is the existing,
Yep.
so we're gonna go underground
Mm-hmm.
across the easement here.
And that's when I learned the word silviculture.
Silviculture?
Silviculture.
Oh.
And then
Yeah.
continue.
And then over,
Cutting
coming
the
to
wood
poles.
for.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So this is all wooded,
Yep, yep, yep.
vacant site, all wooded and vacant.
we have the benefit of recent knowledge.
Yep.
Yep. How many megawatts is that?
We're waiting to see where we finalize the size of the site, but it'll be about 3 to 4 megawatts.
How much was this one?
This one is 4.5.
Boy, that looks
As
bigger.
built,
Is
and
it
they
because
cut
they're
back?
separated?
Yeah, and there's another
So
section to
they
this.
cut back.
Oh.
Was that
There's a lot of
proposed
stuff
as
going up there
4.6?
on this hill, huh?
This
Wow.
one,
Yeah, or built as
It's gonna be in the
4.6.
city.
this is
Think
built
you're
as
gonna have to
4.6.
Okay, so it was bigger when we approved it.
You may be thinking about the William Street one, that one was originally built bigger, and then we
No, they
shrunk
they
it.
didn't do as much as this. There's one section they didn't do at the front,
The
right?
the little piece in the front, right.
Yeah, okay. Right.
So, yeah, so that's the proposal to come in with the overhead power lines and connect to the existing poles here and make use of all the existing roads that lead out to Elm Street.
And the only access to this is through here, there's no other alternate?
Correct.
I'm just thinking that all these people are saying, finally, they're done.
Yeah.
Mr. Carr, how's he doing?
He seems to be happy, I think he should be happy that we didn't build that little piece up the front
Yeah.
that you were talking about in his backyard. We'll knock that hill down for him and do whatever he wants
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
He must be happy, I haven't seen him,
Yeah.
'cause he would he would come in and let us know.
You know, 'cause that was gonna be right in his backyard
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
His attitude was better than houses,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
But this,
No, I like this because, you
Nothing
know,
around.
can't see it, I like
yeah,
it. If I can't see it, I like it.
But the address is what, 0 Hart Street?
Mhm.
right.
Okay.
It's a separate assessor's parcel.
The fire chief
yeah.
should look at the road too and see what he thinks,
Mhm.
right?
They
Yeah, that
approved
may
the
be
first
it.
one.
Yeah,
The thing
maybe
is,
the
right
part,
here is a
right.
bit of a hill that the fire chief
think
was
this is part of-
concerned about, cause we were talking about driving up this way and coming down
See,
here to
no.
get into
That
here.
would be down here.
Because
This
he
must
couldn't
be
get
part of
past,
this hill.
there's some,
Things there.
Inverters.
Yeah.
slabs
Inverters.
here and inverters. So anyway, he was talking about going up this way. And the grade here, look, he said it
You
could be
think?
really tough, so when you're looking at it, you may look at changing the grade somehow.
Okay, that's a good comment. The
What
other
road
option
is-
we have is to
No,
come
it
around this
abuts,
way.
uh,
The problem
you
here
get
is
the
we
vernal
come
pool.
into the
Vernal
vernal pool.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
It's, we're close. We're not, what is it, 25-foot no touches right here, within 100
Yeah,
foot.
so maybe the steeper was right here, not here where I was showing, cause that's a fairly wide, topo lines. This is the part. At any rate, you can take a look at it, and I'm sure you can come up with something that's better than what's there. And you'd probably wanna do it anyway to get all your stuff back here. If
Right.
you're hiring people that don't have the equipment to get there, then you're out of luck.
It gets money
Just
up
about-
there.
Yeah, it does.
What's this street over here?
That's Elm.
That's Elm,
Yep.
okay,
Hart Street would be over here.
okay, yep.
So what's blue, is that this project?
blue
here?
is the
That's the
new-
new
Yeah.
project.
Yeah. And the yellow striping is endangered species habitat?
No, just wetlands,
Just wetlands, okay.
GIS.
Yeah.
Could you just explain our plan for the Concom and our approach to that?
Yeah, so we have flagged the wetlands on site. We're gonna be meeting with the commission, next week to get approval on the wetland line. And our goal is to keep outside the 100-foot buffer zone here. So we would, avoid any filings with conservation for a notice of intent. Everyone wants us to pull the
good idea.
Yeah, no, I don't wanna, I wanna avoid it, I really do.
What's the purpose of the swale?
Huh?
You go hunting up there?
Not
Just for
everywhere.
runoff control.
I'm all
Oh,
over.
okay.
So we're going from a
Not
wooded
yet.
site
So
to
they're gonna
grass,
be
I
key.
see.
so we're gonna, there's a slight increase in the
So
runoff.
you'll just
Yeah.
put
So
swales
you'll have
into
to you'll have
direct
to
to
comply,
that.
still comply with the stormwater standards.
Yes.
On the site plan review.
That's why we're actually glad you're here tonight, because we'd like to just discuss with you if you see anything here that you'd like to comment on, so when we come back in a month, we can be that much further ahead.
I'd like a little bit
Yeah, I
more
know,
time
that's-
to look
okay.
at something.
We went through, the William Street site, so I have a good
Yeah.
idea what you're gonna be looking for. We know we have to comply with the stormwater
Okay.
management still, even though we're outside the 100-foot.
I guess the point is, we took that stormwater into consideration at this early stage, we've already
Mhm.
thought about it,
Mhm.
and as Jim mentioned, he's taken what he's learned from William Street, what we're looking for there to incorporate it here.
Okay.
I like it.
We don't have anything to vote on at this point, do we?
No.
We were gonna be here when, for your meeting in 2 weeks, but it got pulled in. We didn't have time to get on your agenda officially to open the hearing tonight. But we'll be looking to do that in, next month, the next meeting. Have you set a date for that yet?
I did, but I have to
Just as long as they stay
talk
away
with the
from
selectmen
Richmond,
though,
they'll
because the
everybody
cable
be
people
happy.
asked us tonight to kinda
No.
put our meetings with theirs so they can have some time off too, cause we're the
Okay.
only meeting in town hall.
Actually, we
So
have got.
July 19th, but was my, I just wanna make sure that's when the selectmen's meeting is in July, so
Okay.
that we're all here on the same night, so the cable guys don't
Although
have to.
I do think if they would've pursued it,
Come
they
in just
would've been
for us.
successful.
Okay.
Okay, but that is July 19th,
They wanted to push it.
it's 10.
Yeah.
So the filing deadline would be 2 weeks prior to that. We can
Oh,
get it in
about-
sooner, but.
We would've
Yeah,
probably
like
gotten a
maybe
few
2.5,
weeks thrown on
maybe
our
a
heads.
half a
Get
week
the
to
holiday
get,
3 weeks, yeah.
yeah,
Well, they're
to get me,
gonna
give me,
support for that
you know,
one,
the,
approving it.
just time to get it in the paper, and then I have to advertise it 2 weeks prior, so.
Okay.
So 19th, yeah.
Is there access up to
And,
that site
and just so you know,
if I wanted to do a
if
site
you
visit?
could,
Yeah. Well, can he get through the fenced areas if he?
We would need to, you got two options. If you don't mind bushwhacking a bit, we'd walk around a fence area, but it's not hard, or I'd have NRG open the fence area up. Even though I'm the landlord, I don't want keys to that array. And that way.
I'm saying, is the front gate open?
Front gate's open.
Okay, so it's just this last area we have to walk around.
Yeah, you gotta walk around the
Yeah,
first area of that
that wouldn't be a
fence.
that wouldn't
Yeah.
be a problem.
As long as you don't mind that, then there's no problem getting up here.
Yeah, okay. Do I need to notify anybody if I wanna come out and take a look around?
It would be good if you just gave me a call.
Okay. Give me your card
Yep.
with you. Give me it.
Actually, Mike, you get one of yours? I gave mine over earlier today.
Greg, actually, I'm on vacation the week of the 9th there, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So if you could actually have that to me by the end of June, that would be great.
Okay?
Easy.
Okay.
Yeah, cause we were gonna be ready to present this month.
Yeah.
We hope we
Mm.
could have, so if you decide to have another meeting this month, let us know.
It's not gonna happen.
No,
It's not gonna happen.
but, so just if you could do that, that'd be great, 'cause that would give me time to,
Yep.
especially with the holidays there and stuff.
Okay.
How close you coming to William Street to finishing that up?
It's ready to be electrically connected at this point, so, construction-wise, it's pretty much complete, just a matter of finishing connecting wires. Otherwise, it's done, and we started that February, I think the beginning of February, and that was, through some bad weather, a lot of rain and so forth.
Good crew though, there were
Yeah,
about 30 cars there every day when
That's
I
right.
run by the.
that's really the way to approach these, just knock them out. And this one will be done the same way. Our plan is that NRG will own this array also. And we're doing that for a lot of reasons, partly because we work with NRG a lot, but they own the first array. So anything that needs to be done in terms of access or easements or anything that we have to do, because it'll own both, it's easy. So that's our plan there. And the town will have another pilot agreement with one of the country's largest producers of power. Very, very stable, very financially sound, Fortune 100 company. So it's good for the town.
Just stay
That's
away
what
from
you're doing it for.
Stay away from Richmond Hill, that's all.
There you go.
You'll be happy.
Well, I sat in one of those meetings, I heard it. So is
I
there
mean,
any?
you could see it from your house if you look across the river, you wouldn't wanna see solar panels,
No.
would you? No. I don't think so.
Is there anything else you'd like to see when we come back in a month or so from now?
He's really trying to cover his back.
Makes it easier.
We talking about this project or William
This
Street?
project.
Well, you can
Okay.
talk about William Street while you're having.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some trees over there probably.
It's pretty well shielded.
I drive by a lot.
Yeah,
I
it's
see
pretty
'em.
well shielded.
Really, I
But
can
that
see
was,
'em.
that was in the agreement, so that's what.
Yeah, and then in the winter, you know, those
Yeah.
leaves are gone,
Right,
so.
no, what we said was, we'll look at it when it was done, and if it needs some shading, we'll
Mhm.
figure that out.
Right.
So, some screening. So we'll follow through on that.
Beautiful.
Does the plan set include like an aerial, like photo, so it'll be clear that, you know, it's totally isolated and everything?
We'll provide one.
Anything we could provide you in advance, or that you'd like sooner to look at?
No, it won't take me too long to go through this, once you get me, I'd rather look at the complete package.
Okay,
I mean, I don't think this is very complicated,
yeah. I'm glad to hear that.
well,
Well, I think the fire chief should look at the road too,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
He will.
probably,
yeah.
critical item, yeah.
Well, our fire chief just resigned, he's only got a couple of weeks left, so. Yeah, he
Yeah.
resigned last week,
The interim one.
Really?
yeah.
Probably got a better
Yeah.
job.
So they're
Might have
looking
got
for a new
full-time
fire chief.
job.
Starting
Anybody's
again.
listening.
Alright.
I didn't know that either.
No,
Yeah, he resigned last week, moving to Maine.
I knew that he was looking for a home in Maine, I didn't realize that he found one. Good for him.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you very much.
thank you. Appreciate your time.
Have a good
Thanks.
night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
While we're talking about solar, let's talk about Main Street.
Main Street
What
Solar.
about it?
Hey, I saw a sign this morning, I went fishing down the Cape, and the ice rink down there, it says making ice with the sun. They
Oh, yeah.
have solar panels on the ice rink,
On the roof?
yeah, on the roof,
Yeah.
and that's how they're making their ice.
So you're talking about the Zeneca site? The Zeneca area of Main Street?
No,
No, up
this one's up,
by
Up a
the
little
farm,
ways.
yeah.
The one that's tucked into the neighborhood in the back of the field?
Yes.
Yes.
That one.
never got what we wanted, right?
Peter did their as-built, he had all kinds of comments. I forwarded the comments to Borrego, and I haven't heard anything since, but they're not online yet. As far as I know, I haven't signed off on it.
Wow, that's a long time.
It's a mess up there too, all that
It is.
coverings down, the fence,
Trees are dead.
the cheap stuff they put on is all torn down.
Then people can see it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a
Have
good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
So while we got a minute, you wanna talk about where we're gonna put marijuana distribution center?
Mhm. We gotta come up with a plan. You know, Peter's got a good point with the village overlay that kinda kills that, but then again, you gotta think about how many other places in town that you would actually put it.
It could
Think,
be the hippie village overlay.
Well, you got
It would
daddy.
fit down there with all you
You do
Pleasant
have
Street.
daddy-os, but that's, I don't think that's a